You think scammers only steal your money. But what if I told you the most dangerous scam doesn't live in your broker's office? It lives inside your mind. A scam so invisible that even after losing everything, you still believe you're in control. Because this isn't just about trading losses. This is about psychological manipulation, a silent game that plays you while you think you're playing the market. And if you're new to Forex trading, you're already inside it. In the neon world of Forex trading for beginners, every click promises freedom. Every strategy whispers success. You see ads of luxury cars, perfect lifestyles, and mentors claiming to hold the secret key. But behind every shiny screen, there's something darker, a psychological web designed to trap your mind before your money. This isn't about greed or ignorance. It's about illusion, the illusion of control, confidence, and certainty. Because the real scam isn't the one that empties your wallet. It's the one that fills your mind with lies about who you are and what you need to become to win. And once you fall into that illusion, the market doesn't just take your money, it takes your identity. Before we uncover the first psychological trap, remember, this channel isn't about strategies. It's about you. If you want to understand how traders get manipulated by their own minds, subscribe to Psychology of Trading. And let's go deeper into the scams you can't see, but can feel every time you trade. Every Forex beginner starts their journey believing one thing, that with enough learning, enough focus, and enough discipline, they can control the market. They think mastery is about strategy, about reading charts, about timing entries. But the first and most dangerous trap is the illusion that they ever had control to begin with. You sit in front of the screen. The market moves. You analyze, you plan, you click. And for a moment, it feels like you're the one moving the strings, like the market reacts to you. But what if it's the other way around? What if every decision you make is already being predicted, influenced, and shaped before you even think it? The scam doesn't begin when you lose money. It begins the moment you start believing that you can control something that thrives on chaos. Because control gives you comfort, and comfort blinds you. The market doesn't manipulate your trades. It manipulates your emotions. The color of the candles, the flicker of green and red, the sound of profit notifications. All of it creates a psychological trap. It feeds your dopamine. It keeps you chasing the same feeling of power, the same illusion of certainty. You think you're studying price action, but price action is studying you. Every hesitation, every overreaction, every impulsive entry is recorded. Not by the market, but by your own subconscious patterns. And soon, your brain begins trading you instead of you trading the market. You start thinking, I'm finally getting it. A few wins, a few confident trades, and suddenly you believe the system is bending in your favor. You tell yourself you've cracked it, but that's when the trap tightens. Because the illusion of control is not empowerment, it's bait. It keeps you from realizing that no one controls volatility, no one controls uncertainty. You can't manage the chaos. You can only manage yourself. And that's where most beginners fail. They don't lose because the market is unfair. They lose because they refuse to accept that control itself is a fantasy. They chase mastery instead of awareness. They chase perfection instead of discipline. The illusion of control whispers that if you just try harder, learn more, backtest longer, you'll win. But that voice isn't guiding you toward success. It's guiding you deeper into dependency. Trading platforms are designed like casinos. Small wins, quick feedback, constant stimulation. Every green candle rewards you. Every red candle punishes you. You think you're trading logic, but you're trading emotion. And the more you chase logic in an emotional system, the more the system owns you. It's not about brokers or algorithms. The real scam is internal. It's psychological. It's the belief that by mastering your system, you'll master the market. But you're not supposed to master the market. You're supposed to understand it and accept that it can't be controlled. The market is like a mirror. It reflects everything you bring to it. Fear, greed, pride, insecurity. The more control you try to exert, the louder those reflections become. And slowly, the market stops being a battlefield and becomes therapist. Every loss, every panic entry, every missed trade reveals something about you. So, When you lose, it's not the chart that's against you. It's the part of your mind that can't accept uncertainty. The part that believes control equals safety. And that's the exact point where the scam wins. Not by stealing your money, but by making you surrender your awareness. The moment you feel powerful in trading, you're already in danger. Because the true power doesn't come from control. It comes from surrender, from realizing that the market doesn't reward confidence. It rewards neutrality. The one who observes, not the one who forces. That's the first hidden scam. Not the fake broker, not the shady course seller. It's a silent illusion that whispers, you're in control, because the more you believe that lie, the more control you give away. The first trap isn't in your charts. It's in your mind, and the only way out is to stop trying to control the storm and start learning how to stand still within it. Knowledge. The word itself feels powerful. It gives you a sense of superiority, a belief that if you just know more, you'll win more. And that's exactly why it's the second biggest scam hiding in Forex trading for beginners. You start by learning indicators, setups, and strategies. You watch tutorials, read books, join communities, and dive into endless theories. At first, it feels like growth. You're expanding your understanding, connecting dots, decoding patterns. But slowly, silently, the same knowledge starts controlling you. Because the more you learn, the more you believe there's something left to learn. And that endless chase becomes your prison. You begin to think that maybe your losses are not emotional, not psychological, but educational. You convince yourself that if you could just learn one more thing, the market would finally make sense. But the market doesn't reward information. It rewards understanding. The mirage of knowledge is the illusion that you can outthink uncertainty. It's the belief that if you collect enough tools, enough data, enough signals, you'll gain control. But knowledge without wisdom is like a weapon without direction. You can swing it all day and still end up hurting yourself. You meet mentors, watch experts, listen to the gurus. Each of them sells a new secret, a new truth, a new way to beat the system. They promise mastery, but they're feeding the same addiction, because beginners don't crave profits. They crave certainty. And certainty is the most expensive illusion in trading. You study candle patterns and think they reveal psychology. You memorize setups and call it experience. You chase perfect entries, perfect exits, perfect timing. But perfection doesn't exist. What exists is the illusion of progress, the feeling that learning equals earning. And the system knows that. That's why there's always something new to learn, something new to buy, something new to fix. Because the moment you stop searching, the illusion breaks. And when it breaks, the market forces you to face the truth, that it's not more knowledge you need, it's less noise. The mirage of knowledge whispers that you're becoming smarter. But in reality, you're becoming more dependent. You stop trusting yourself. You stop feeling the rhythm of the market. You become a collector of information instead of an observer of behavior. And that's how the scam wins. Not by taking your money, but by taking your intuition. You begin to trade based on what others say. You forget what you see. You stop reacting to the market and start reacting to opinions. And when the market moves against you, you blame your lack of knowledge. But the truth is, you didn't lose because you didn't know enough. You lost because you knew too much of the wrong thing. Knowledge is seductive. It gives you a false sense of security. You start to believe that you're becoming unshakable. That because you understand how indicators work, you understand the market, but the market doesn't care about your understanding. It cares about your reaction. And the more you chase knowledge for comfort, the more emotional you become when that comfort fails. Every trader wants to feel smart. Every beginner wants to be the one who figured it out. But intelligence in trading isn't about accumulation. It's about elimination, removing everything that clouds your perception. Removing the noise that keeps you overthinking, overanalyzing, and overtrading. The mirage of knowledge makes you believe that information equals transformation. But wisdom doesn't come from knowing. It comes from seeing, from watching the same patterns repeat, not on the charts, but in yourself. The same impulsive entry, the same premature exit, the same emotional revenge trade. Those are the real lessons. And the most dangerous moment for a trader is not when they're ignorant. It's when they think they know enough. Because that's when arrogance replaces awareness. That's when confidence turns into blindness. That's when experience turns into ego. The greatest traders aren't the ones who know everything. They're the ones who've learned to unlearn. They observe. They adapt. They let go. They understand that every piece of knowledge has an expiration date, that the market is a living organism, and the more you try to define it, the faster it changes shape. The scam doesn't sell you lies. It sells you half-truths. Just enough to keep you thinking you're on the edge of mastery. Just one course away, one indicator away, one video away from success. But the truth is, you're not one step away. You're one surrender away. The mirage of knowledge feeds your ego. It tells you you're becoming a professional. But the real professionals know that markets don't need more students. They need more silence. Because silence is where real learning happens. Not in data, not in charts, not in strategies, but in observation. So if you ever find yourself overwhelmed, lost, chasing yet another aha moment, stop. Close the books. Turn off the charts. And ask yourself one question. Am I really learning, or am I just escaping? Because sometimes, the more you learn, the less you truly see. The most powerful scam in trading isn't the one that empties your account. It's the one that rewires your identity. The one that convinces you that you are the trade. It starts slowly. You begin as a learner, curious and humble. But over time, you stop studying the charts and start studying yourself through them. Every win makes you feel worthy. Every loss makes you feel broken. And without realizing it, your self-worth becomes tied to numbers that never cared about you in the first place. You no longer say, I lost a trade. You say, I'm losing. You no longer say, the market hit my stop loss. You say, I failed. That shift seems small, but it changes everything. Because now, every candle on the chart is personal. Every trade is an emotional reflection. You're no longer reacting to the market. You're reacting to yourself. And that's the exact moment when the system no longer needs to trick you. You've started tricking yourself. The loop begins when trading stops being an activity and becomes an identity. You wake up to charts, you eat with charts, you sleep thinking about charts. The market becomes your mirror, and you keep looking for validation in its reflection. When it rewards you, you feel invincible. When it punishes you, you feel worthless. And slowly, your entire self becomes a cycle of hope and despair. You call it passion, but in truth, it's dependency. You crave the market not for money, but for meaning, because when the charts are green, you feel alive. And when they're red, you start to question everything, your skill, your worth, your identity. That's the third and final trap, the loop of identity. It's when trading stops being what you do and becomes who you are. You can't step away. You can't disconnect. Even your silence feels expensive, as if not trading means not existing. And that's how the scam wins, not by deception, but by devotion. You become obsessed with improvement, obsessed with being the perfect trader. You read more psychology books, follow more mentors, repeat more affirmations. You tell yourself, I just need to fix my mindset. But you don't realize that your mindset isn't broken. It's over-identified. You've mistaken self-discipline for self-worth. And that's why the more you try to control your emotions, the more they control you. The loop feeds on identity. You start to believe that quitting means failure. You start to believe that detachment means weakness. You start to believe that without trading, you are nothing. But the truth is, detachment is the only way out. Because mastery isn't about control. It's about surrender. It's not about becoming fearless. It's about understanding your fear. And once you see that, the illusion starts to break. You realize that the market isn't your enemy. It's your reflection. Every loss, every frustration, every emotional outburst is showing you something deeper about yourself. The market doesn't hurt you. It reveals you. And when you start to see trading as a mirror, the loop begins to dissolve. You stop chasing identity. You stop fighting to prove yourself. You begin to trade with awareness, not attachment. You begin to see that your goal was never freedom through profit. Your goal was freedom from illusion. Because every beginner eventually learns that the market doesn't care about what you know, what you feel, or who you think you are. It only reflects what you bring into it. If you bring greed, it amplifies it. If you bring fear, it multiplies it. If you bring silence, it finally gives you peace. The loop ends the day you stop searching for yourself in the charts. When you stop needing the market to tell you your value. When you realize that you were never here to master the market. You were here to master your mind. The greatest scam wasn't the broker, the signal seller, or the fake guru. It was the illusion that your identity depends on your performance, that your wins define your worth, and your losses define your limits. But once you see through it, something inside you shifts. You stop forcing outcomes. You stop chasing perfection. And you start trading from a place of detachment, not because you no longer care, but because you finally understand. You were never meant to control the market. You were meant to see yourself through it and let go. That's how the loop breaks. Not with knowledge, not with strategies, but with awareness. So if you're still trapped in that cycle of trying to prove yourself through trading, pause, breathe, ask yourself, who am I when I'm not trading? Because when you find that answer, the market finally loses its power over you. And that's when the game truly begins. You've seen the traps. You've felt the manipulation. And maybe you've recognized a piece of yourself inside them. But remember this, the greatest scam in trading was never out there in the market. It was always within you. Because the more you try to win, the deeper you fall into the illusion that you can control what was never yours to control. And once you understand that, you stop chasing freedom through profits and start finding freedom through awareness. So the next time you open a chart, ask yourself, are you trading the market or is the market trading you? Because in the next episode, we'll uncover the darkest secret that no trading coach wants you to know. The one that explains why most traders are not losing because of their strategy, but because of their psychology.